Here's every single game that I played in 2023. A lot of PlayStation games. Now I feel like 2023 was generally a good year for games. Kicking off with the first game is Kenna Bridge of Spirits. Now technically I played this a little bit more in December, but I did finish it in January, so it's going to be on this list. It's a really, really cute action adventure game, and I really highly recommend if you're kind of new to these types of games. It's got beautiful graphics where it kind of feels like you're just watching a Pixar movie, if I'm gonna be honest. The animation is absolutely beautiful. They've got these cute little creatures in them called rots that you collect, and I was definitely building up my own little swarm of rots, and it was so cute because you can place like little hats on them. Absolutely love it. The combat system in this game is actually quite fun. It doesn't have a lock-on mechanic, so you do need to aim, but it's not super difficult, and you can turn the difficulty down if you're having trouble with it, but it's a lot of fun. I really recommend. The graphics are beautiful, the story is really sweet, and yeah, it's a short game as well. I think I beat it in like 15 hours. Number 2 is The Last of Us Part 2. Now I finished the first one the previous year, and obviously I had to play Part 2. I'm gonna be honest, I think I actually prefer Part 2 to Part 1. I think Part 2 is a more emotionally traumatic, I will say. I definitely had a more traumatic experience playing this. This game was definitely a lot more intense. There was a lot more emotions being on display, and I definitely cried while playing this game. I don't think I've ever played a game that made me cry. This made me cry, and it's really, really good. I don't understand the hate that it gets. I thought it was really, really well done. So definitely play this. If you've played Part 1 and you haven't played Part 2 yet, play this. Now, one of my most anticipated releases this year was Hogwarts Legacy. I'm a big Harry Potter fan, and I was so excited when I found out that they were doing a action adventure game in the Harry Potter universe. I love this game. I feel like this is definitely a really good option as well if you're looking to get into those action adventure type games. Hogwarts Legacy, it has a lock-on mechanic, which I think is a lot easier when starting off, so it means that you don't have to actually aim, you just have to worry about your spell combinations. I do have another video on this channel that is like top 10 tips for beginners to when playing this game, and I talk a little bit about like ways just to make your life a little bit easier playing this game, especially if you're new to this type of genre. My favorite thing about this game was the combat. I absolutely loved it. It was so fun just to do like spell combinations and take down enemies. I will say I did find this game a little bit on the easier scale, which is why I think it will be a good beginner game as well. I played on the hardest difficulty, and I still found it to be kind of like average level of difficulty. But you know, that means that it's less intimidating for new people. Really recommend checking it out. It was so much fun to play. I definitely want to do a replay of this game. I think it will be so fun to do. Now, I don't have the physical copy of the game, but I played Spider-Man for the first time this year, and I absolutely loved it. Followed by Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now, I loved these games. These were so much fun. It had the right amount of action, the right amount of exploration. It's like, I didn't really find myself needing to fast travel because it was so much fun just swinging around New York. And yeah, both of these games are great. Highly recommend playing this one. Miles Morales is really, really great companion to obviously both the games. I'd say definitely play this one before you play Spider-Man 2. It'll give you a bit more background into Miles' character. I would suggest try and get it when it's on sale because it is a very short game, and you'll find that the price tag, especially for PlayStation 5, might not be worth it. I think it's still worth it. I bought this when it was on sale. Next, I did play Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I really loved Fallen Order, and I was so excited when obviously it was getting a sequel. So I picked this up on launch day. I encountered one bug when I played it, and that was the rendering of the graphics. Now, it was fixed in about a week, but it would have been nice to play it, you know, without that, because it was a little bit creepy when Cal was talking and, you know, his mouth wasn't moving properly to what he was saying. But anyways, it was still a really, really fun game. The combat was so much fun. Absolutely loved it. This one, I feel like Jedi Survivor and even Fallen Order, I think have a little bit of a harder scale with the difficulty, but they're still really, really fun. I think I played this on the second easiest mode and then switched to the easiest if I was like really struggling, but it's still really, really fun. Personally, I do prefer the story of Fallen Order. I think it's just more interesting. Jedi Survivor is still really, really good. Next, one of my favorites this year, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I actually ended up getting the collector's edition of this, and I'm so glad I did because I absolutely love this game. I played Breath of the Wild for the first time like the year prior, and I really, really loved that, and Tears of the Kingdom just elevated that experience so much more. It was so much fun, and I find it interesting because usually I'm someone who's a little bit more drawn to story-driven games. Not that this isn't a story-driven game, but you know, I do like my cutscenes where characters interact. This is a huge open world that you just explore. If you're into that kind of thing, you'll really, really love this. The map is absolutely huge. You will get lost in it, which is what I did. I ended up spending 100 hours in this game. So yeah. So fun. I love the new mechanics that were introduced more than what they had in Breath of the Wild. And yeah, it's a really fun game and I absolutely loved it. Now onto another note, a game that honestly, this is probably my least favorite I played this year, Diablo 4. I really liked Diablo 3. I thought it was really, really fun. I never played Diablo 2, but Diablo 3 was fun. I really enjoyed it. Diablo 4, it's not that it wasn't a good game. It was okay. It was decent. I was expecting a little bit more. And also I think the thing that really made me not like it was the fact that you always had to be connected to the internet. Now, I'm sure a lot of people didn't really have that problem. Me personally, I don't have the best internet connection, hence why I just play a lot of like offline single player games. But it really kind of annoyed me. It always had to be connected to the internet and to the Diablo servers, which inevitably resulted in a lot of lag with the server. And it was just really, really frustrating, especially when you're in the middle of a boss battle and it cuts out. So it was just not fun for that reason. I really enjoyed playing it and like, you know, with the combat and everything, I played like a frost mage. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. It was just really, really frustrating. Also, I don't think the story for me wasn't as captivating as number 3. But like, it was okay. It was okay. It was just not the best. Then I decided I needed to play a good game to, you know, make up for that. So I played God of War for the first time. I really enjoyed this. I think it was a little bit different to what I'm like kind of used to, but this was so fun to play. I really enjoyed it. I loved the story. I think it was so interesting. I think with God of War, it's very much, it has such a heavy emphasis on the father-son aspect of the game because you're not really encountering a lot of NPCs in the world like you do a lot of other big open world action adventure games. Like, you're not going to villages and encountering like groups of people that you talk to, interact with. It's really about that father and son connection, and I love that. You see the evolution of their characters and their bond, and I guess the struggle that Kratos had to go through, like losing his wife and him really having to step up to be a father to Atreus. And I love that. I really love that story aspect. I have God of War Ragnarok on my shelf ready to go to play this year. That's definitely in the cards. But, you know, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a really, really well done game. Definitely deserves the praise and the hype it gets. So, yeah. Next, I wanted to go back to kind of like a cozy farming simulation game. So I wanted to give Fae Farm a go. Fae Farm for me was really, really fun. I have not completed it yet, but I've played a decent chunk of the game to include on this list. It's definitely one I want to go back to in 2024 and actually like play it and complete. I'm not really sure if this game has like a proper end, but it is still really, really fun. I love the aspect, the animation, the graphics is so cute. And I just really, really want to revisit this and I guess beat it if there is an end to it. Then SpiderMan 2 came out, another one of my most highly anticipated games this year. Even though I played, you know, the first 2 games earlier this year, I was still really excited. That was like the main reason why I played them back to back, because I wanted to be ready for SpiderMan 2 because it looked absolutely incredible. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, grew up watching all the movies and everything and absolutely loved it. I loved number 2. SpiderMan 2 was so much fun. It wasn't a long game. I think I beat it in like 20 hours, which honestly, fine. I'm happy with that. Sometimes you just want a shorter game. I don't really want to be playing 100-hour games all the time. It's nice to just play like a short game every now and again. And this was so fun, very action-packed. Love the story, love the characters, and love the development that happened. And the final game of 2023 that I'm still playing, may have finished it by the time this video goes up, we'll see, Boulders Gate 3. I love this game. This was my game of the year, and yes, I still haven't finished it, but it is so good. I had to restart my campaign just because of all the poor decisions that I did make playing it, but honestly, I don't really care because I was able to re-roll a different class. I was originally playing a ranger. Ranger was fine, but I realized that I actually really just love playing magic classes. So that's what I did. I switched to sorcerer and a storm sorcerer, and I've been having so much fun. This game definitely deserves the hype it got, the Game of the Year award. Absolutely well deserved. The roleplay aspect of this game, the voice acting, the story is really cool, just the gameplay. I'm not usually a turn-based combat kind of gal, and I haven't really minded. It's actually been a lot of fun. I think I've learnt more about like strategizing and combat, but it's been a really fun experience. I've definitely become obsessed with this game, and I'm sad it's kind of coming to an end. Like, I've nearly finished it, so yeah, but I'm definitely going to replay this sometime in the future. Yeah, this game is just incredible. There's so many possibilities and so many choices to be made, and they are choices that actually matter. And that's the wrap up for all the games I played in 2023. I'm keen to see what 2024 will bring. I don't really know exactly what games are coming out this year that I'm really excited about. I think I have to do a little bit of a deep dive, and I guess we'll see. If you like this video and you want to see more, click the like button, click the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.